Do you ever just record an entire video and then realize the whole time you are just slightly in a weird framing? Just cutting off your chin, basically. Love that. Anyways. This video kind of stemmed from a conversation I had with a friend the other day. And kind of conversations I've just been having, and I think the internet is kind of having lately, which is raising a kid in the age of the internet sounds legitimately terrifying. I do not know how people do it, and I don't know how my own parents did it. With all these conversations going around about people like James Charles, Shane Dawson, Bryce Hall, and the Hype House, and other content creators, I've been reflecting on my own time being a child of the internet. Kids are always going to find their way onto the internet. They'll lie about their age, and there are no laws to stop them. Places like the EU have been cracking down on privacy and other internet-related issues, but we all know it's still a hellscape out here. But how different is it today from what, like, our generation? Are you my age? I don't know. What my generation, or the older people in my generation have gone through or dealt with when we were growing up on the internet. So I kind of want to talk about the Gen Z, the Gen Z experience. I can't say it. The Zoomer experiment, the Zoomer experience. So we don't have to argue over the fact that I cannot say Z. I'm sorry. Anyways, I can't speak to the younger side of this generation. I am 19. Don't know how to read. And I know I sound very much like, how do you do, fellow kids? I'm not a millennial. I swear. I promise. Anyways, what did we have when we were growing up on the internet? I can't speak to the like Reddit, 4chan, Discord side of the internet. And Discord is a big issue right now for minors online. I was more of a Tumblr, Instagram, Wattpad kind of kid. I know for a fact we signed up for these sites saying we were 13 to avoid being flagged as a minor or just not allowed to make an account at all. So, kids being exposed to adult content. I don't think this is right by any means. I don't think that kids should be. It's called adult content for a reason. And I don't know what it was like for older generations before the internet or for millennials, but I am confident that this is probably worse now than it was even for older Zoomers, such as myself. You know, what was our equivalent to sexy TikTok dances and K-pop stars and fanfiction about these people? Well, fanfiction about One Direction and YouTubers instead, though I'm sure that is still a thing. One Direction could never die. I have a Harry Styles cut out right over there. There he is. I do have that. I wasn't lying to you. Anyways, back to the video. Enjoy. About 2 years ago now, I revisited good old Dark. I never read After as a kid, which is probably the one you know of. You know, the Harry Harden Styles fic turned film.
What are you doing? You owe me a debt.
No. I read a different classic of sorts. Now, I knew going back to this would be absolutely horrific, tragic, so uncomfortable for everyone. It made me aware of a lot of messed up messages I received as a literal, probably 12-year-old, a child.
A child. No.
So, I have re-downloaded the app in the name of research to read some comments to you that I read 2 years ago when I realized others were also revisiting the Dark Ages. Get it? Okay, anyway. Basically, the plot centers around our girl Beau and her creepy stalker, older man, Harry Styles. Very sorry to the real Harry. He really had to deal with a lot. I hope he never read any of these. That would be... I don't know what that would do to your psyche. Anyway, boy, is it a weird, toxic, abusive, sexual romance. Stockholm Syndrome that we are exposed to. I will spare you the details. Read at your own risk. Please don't. I was going to look through all of this beforehand and tell you the highlights, take some screenshots, screen recordings perhaps, but I logged into my very first ever Wattpad account. I had two. One when I was a little bit older, but I logged into my very first and decided this is now a group experience, so there's going to be a section for that. Now, perhaps? Time for me to get into Wattpad. Okay, so I spent like 20 minutes scrolling through this account in shock and horror. First, I went to the saved and past reads on my account, including hits such as Marcel, Adopted by Them, and, of course, Save Them, Please. 2, the number of children I carried. 2, the number of times I was kidnapped. 1 week, the number of weeks I was held hostage. Harry was her husband. They had kids. She was kidnapped. Who kidnapped her? Wow. No. Sea Prince. I remember I met him on Minecraft. I literally remember that. Let's move on to the real star of the show here. Dark. A Harry Styles fanfic. It does say mature now. It says recommended 17 plus. I don't know when that was added. Right away, I was shocked to see people enjoying the fic. I did eventually find people, though, that were equally as upset as I am. You met her 2 seconds ago, but go off, I guess. That's weird. That's suspicious. Stop before I cut your dick off. I'm glad. We do not approve. Alright, this was right before my camera turned off, so you get editing me instead now. Basically, from here on out, I carried on reading essentially borderline and not so borderline sexual assault fiction. And thank God, more and more upset and confused comments. We also then learned Wattpad charges now to stop getting ads. I know, $79, $80 a year? Harry stalks her, befriends her mom, they go for dinner, and she runs away and nearly drowns. No, I'm not kidding. He saves her life, makes a creepy sexual comment, and that's only in the first few chapters. I noticed a worrying trend of people saying shit like, there is a very, very uncomfortable sex scene. He's sexually harassing and stalking her. This isn't how anyone should treat someone they want to get to know or date. I know he gets sweeter later on, but this is not okay. This is assault, and for anyone asking how, she didn't say yes. Even if she didn't say no or stop, she didn't say yes. Sir, that's sexual assault. And my personal favorite complaint about this scene would be, stop using the word crush, oh my lord, just say bussy like the rest of us. Finally, even when things are supposedly consensual, it is described as Beau wanting to create a sense of dominance that Harry always held over her. Which sounds a little bit like a trauma response. To me. Just maybe. The fic ends with them in love, shocker, and overall it just sucks. But do not fret. I did find a fic recommendation to end this section with. The Secret Princess. Sophie Tomlinson, the Princess of the UK. That's all I got. This was gross and damaging, and children read it, and probably still do read it by the looks of things, so... Alright. Back to me yesterday. Now that we've gone through that horrific experience together, I have one more thing to speak on. And I feel like we're closer, in a way. Maybe not. Interactions with celebrities online and Warped Tour. I want to see celebrities and micro-celebrities in popular spaces. I see this a lot with TikTok now, not just like big creators, but those with a few thousand followers that have like children simping in their comments. I know TikTok kind of makes you like your own little micro-celebrity. As soon as you hit 1,000 followers, you can go live, you can have access maybe to the creator fund, I'm not sure, but usually I've noticed if someone has gotten to at least 1,000 followers, not subscribers, they usually have had at least 1 or 2 like viral videos, and if they are at all remotely attractive, you will see some comments. I spent a lot of my time on Tumblr and Instagram, like I said, and I was sort of in the emo, queer kid scene. if you can't tell from the maybe everything about me. This led to older teens and young adults that were pretty and gay having weird cult followings of kids. And when they posted all of their business online, it spread to arguments and the like, and just discourse on these kids' lives. And I don't even know how to find these accounts anymore, which is so unfortunate. I'm so sorry. I have definitely been blocked by at least one. My bad. And I'm sure many more have since been deleted or just disappeared off the face of the earth. I hope they're all doing well. I don't even know the names of most of them now. I know what two of them looked like, and I was blocked by one of them. So, rest in peace. One micro celebrity, sort of internet celebrity content creator that I do remember that is still active today that you could check out is Acacia Brinley. Acacia Brinley, I don't know how to say it, my apologies. Her online career could be a whole video on its own, so you can look into her yourself if you want. I never claimed to be going in depth with the research for this video. Just consider it like a personal essay of sorts, instead of like a video essay, you know? She has a kid now. She was one of the like pretty emo people. I don't know if she was queer, but I think she has a husband now. Of course, this is the age of Warped Tour and pop punk, and you can just type in Warped Tour allegations into Google and find countless stories, allegations, the like, of sexual misconduct. Most often against minors. Maybe not most often, but often. And I'd be really interested to see if there were any way you could like link how the fan fiction and media we consumed may have warped, no pun intended, kids' views of relationships and romance, potentially making them more vulnerable or more susceptible to this sort of predatory behavior and general internet culture. If that is the media you're consuming, you know, if you're reading about having a toxic romance where a band member falls in love with you. Okay, the audio got super scuffed here, but basically what I was saying is if that is the media you're consuming, if that is what you're reading about, and then you go somewhere like Warped Tour and a pop punk star starts talking to you and you're like, wow, this pop punk star is flirting with me. I don't know. I do remember seeing people like boast about it and be like, oh my goodness, I went to Warped Tour, this so-and-so, like, I swear he was hitting on me, and he was like, I fucking hope not. You are 15. Go home. Go to school. What is this? TikTok and the modern day. I think TikTok is big enough now and there's enough subcultures that we're seeing a sort of resurgence of these communities and these behaviors. And it is concerning. It does freak me out a little bit. I'm sure this has been a thing consistently. I don't think it just stopped. But I think TikTok is making it much more mainstream. I do think it's more openly talked about. And I think people are more informed than they may have been when we were kids. And in these communities and dealing with this behavior, we should learn from our own internet experiences and be open with kids about the dangers of the internet and what they will be exposed to. Because at a certain age, you can no longer monitor everything your child does on the internet. And I don't know how to help with that. I'm not a parent. But I think open conversations and education are really important. And, you know, if you teach kids about healthy relationships and safety in interactions with celebrities and older internet users alike, that will help. And, you know, try to be informed as best as you can. And in our own interactions online, we should be conscious of how we're speaking to minors. By no means am I saying censor yourself because a kid might be watching, because you can't control that. And there are ways to flag content now as like not made for kids or specifically made for kids or whatever. But you know, kids will get around that. Just be aware of how you're interacting with them. Maybe don't talk to kids on Snapchat or message your fans privately, knowing that that is an inherent power imbalance and maybe they are a child. Maybe continue to call out the people that do. Alright. Hopefully I've been in frame this whole time. Which one of the four nipples? Do we have a gravelly voice? Oh, wow, I enjoy myself. do be annoying. It's been 10 minutes. Anyways.